Go ahead and sign in.
You need a pen?
Mom says I'm so contagious.
Skip the chaos and the germs. Log in to waitfromhome.com. See wait times at over 15 UMC clinics. And when it's time to come in, we'll call or text. Skip the wait. Waitfromhome.com.
Welcome to the RedRaiders.com postgame show brought to you by UMC Health Systems. I'm Don Williams from the Avalanche-Journal alongside sports editor Nicholas Talbot, coming to you from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, where on Saturday the Baylor Bears just smoked Texas Tech 63-35. Tech was able to keep up for a little while, but second half was pretty much a little bit of a runaway. Nick?
Yeah, Baylor really came out hot. They started the game on offense. Shock Linwood ripped off a 79-yard run. It kind of set the tone for the game. They went on to score 8 of their first 10 possessions. Texas Tech gave up more than 700 yards of offense last week. They only gave up 600 yards this week, but that's not much of an improvement because a lot of that was, the game was out of hand by the time the score stopped winding down. They had given up 499 yards by the half. If it had been a close game, Baylor might have been able to rack up 1,000 yards of offense, and that's kind of ridiculous. The Texas Tech defense has to improve if it's going to compete in the Big 12. Yes, these are 2 top 5 teams in the country. Yes, this is kind of what everyone expected to happen, but we still have to see this better improvement from Texas Tech defensively. They can't get smoked for 217 yards by Shock Linwood. Seth Russell smoked them all day, 286 yards passing. They still had problems shutting down the big receiver and Corey Coleman, just like they did last week. It wasn't Josh Dotson going off for 18 catches, but Coleman was still effective, 7 catches, more than 100 yards. The Texas defense really didn't look like they were any better last year, and worse than that, this is the first week you really didn't think the Hell offense helped them out at all. Turnovers and penalties really killed them, Don.
Yeah. Got a lot of key numbers in this game. 17 for Texas Tech, 17 penalties today for 124 yards. Also committed 4 turnovers. I thought, obviously this game last year was 48-46 Baylor. I thought Texas Tech probably had a chance to hang in this game as well. One of the keys, though, for me, when I look back at this game, is Baylor scored its first 3 touchdowns came on third down plays. And for the game, Baylor finished 11 out of 16 on third down. Red Raiders just couldn't get them off the field.
No, they couldn't get them off the field at all. And Seth Russell had his way. Shock Linwood had his way. They had more than 200 yards rushing at the half. At one point, Shock Linwood was averaging 17 yards a carry. That's ridiculous. They have to be able to tackle up front. They have to stop the run better than they are. There's a reason they were ranked 122nd. That's going to even go down this week further in rushing defense.
Yeah, and I think Texas Tech defense not helped out a lot by the fact that the secondary's got some key injuries right now. We haven't seen Derek Dixon or Jalen Barnes for the last couple of weeks. Peyton Hendricks, Cliff Kingsbury said today, was sick. He did not play, so you're playing with safeties who really don't get a break. You got Keenan Ward and Jay Sean Johnson out there, and they're pretty much having to go the full way, with Baylor having 76 plays today, and it seems like Ward and Johnson were in for most of those. Texas defense, you're missing so many safeties that Justice Nelson, normally a starting cornerback, was playing some safety today to help you out. But, I tell you what, though, going forward, to me the big concern, I think if you're a Texas Tech fan, it's going to be the offense. You have a couple of winnable games coming up next with Iowa State and Kansas, but now the injury, some major injuries are piling up on offenses.
Yeah, the wide receivers today they looked decimated. I mean, you're down to Zach Austin and Tony Brown, who both showed flashes of grit, playing well. They also had slowed flashes of playing terribly as well. Tony Brown had a big drop in the end zone, and he had a big fumble.
Yeah, and you mentioned Ian Sadler was on the sidelines today wearing just his jersey and pants. No, wasn't suited up. I still get the sense, this is not based on any inside information or anything. I still get the sense that you're probably going to be missing him for a few weeks now. Tech also loses Devin Lauderdale today. He went out in the first half, did not return. So you're really down three of your 4 starting receivers with Lauderdale, Sadler, and Dylan Cantrell, who has not played at all. So now you're playing with you're playing with true freshmen in the case of Tony Brown, Jonathan Giles, a sophomore former walk-on in Zach Austin. They did have Austin and Tony Brown did both have 100-yard games today, but that's kind of an iffy group if you don't get some experienced guys back. And then the offensive line, Justin Murphy goes down, leaves this game with a right knee injury. And this is an offensive line that really had only played about 6 guys. So if you're down to 5 offensive linemen, then you have 0 depth back there. So, again, a couple of games coming up that you need to win, but you're hurting offensively with your starting group and defensively with some of your depth.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about Patrick Mahomes' injury, which was clearly evident today, although he still nearly threw for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's clearly throwing off his back foot, though, Don. Tell me kind of what you saw out there from Mahomes today.
Well, I think we saw, again, a lot of what we saw last Saturday. Pat Mahomes has a lot of guts. He's still making some fantastic plays if he's 100% healthy. We saw him make some throws this afternoon that were really impressive, with Pat Mahomes kind of doing what he does, scrambling around, then throwing back against the grain, completing a pass. But I thought, though, he looked uncomfortable. I didn't hardly see him step into almost any throws, and he's not playing it. He's still making things happen, but I don't think he's anywhere close to his best.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. Although I have to say he's a pretty impressive back foot thrower, or front foot thrower, back foot thrower.
Yeah,
back foot thrower there. He made some really good throws. He had a great 25-yard touchdown run. But clearly, if he's going to have inexperienced wide receivers, a hurt leg, and offensive lineman down, it's going to be a question mark going forward for the Red Raiders.
Yeah. That will about wrap it up here from AT&T Stadium here in Arlington. Again, the final score, number 5 Baylor 63, Texas Tech 35. Stay with us on Sunday and throughout the week. We'll have post-game coverage for you on RedRaiders.com and LubbockOnline.com, and also get you ready with daily reports for what's coming up next Saturday for AJ Sports Editor Nicholas Talbot and for our multimedia editor Mark Rogers. I'm Don Williams from the Avalanche-Journal. This has been the Red Raiders post-game show brought to you by UMC Health Systems.